Theodore by Frank Keating and paintings by Mike Wilmer. My mother named me Theodore, but everyone remembers me as Teddy. I grew up to be big and broad and strong. As a man, I led a nation to greatness. Some said that I was born to greatness. It was not quite that way. I was not born big or strong. But I did know what I wanted, and I worked hard at it every day. My goal was to do big things. I was born on October 27th, 1858, in New York City, the second of 4 children. As a child, I was frail. My health frequently kept me indoors. There, I read and dreamed to the farthest faraways of my imagination. I was nervous and timid. But reading about the people I admired from history, the soldiers of Valley Forge and Morgan's riflemen, filled me with excitement and hope. My illness made me more determined. I wanted to be strong, like the heroes of America's past about whom I had read. I felt a great admiration for men who were fearless and who could hold their own in the world, and I had a great desire to be like them. While my friends played, I created a special world in my mind. I was fascinated by all living things. When I was 7, I wrote about the size and shape of a seal I had seen in the fish market. I was full of curiosity and wonder at all creatures great and small. When I was 9, I composed a natural history of insects, in which I described an assortment of ants, spiders, ladybugs, fireflies, beetles, and dragonflies. My mother and I were great friends. When I was 10, I started to keep a diary. Reading was my routine, and studying and thinking were all normal to me as sleeping and eating. I loved to read. I read biographies, histories, and books on birds and all things that walk and crawl. By age 11, I had seen many things. I had traveled to Europe with my family, climbed an 8,000-foot mountain, and taken long walks up to 19 miles. My father was my best friend and hiking partner. Nothing could keep me from his side. My mother was so proud of the growth of my mind. My father insisted that I strengthen my body. I worked hard at both. I had boundless energy. By age 15, I had sailed to Britain, Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. I had hunted jackals on horseback, climbed the Great Pyramid, and peered into a volcano. I had many heroes, and I read about the people I most admired, people I wanted to become. They were lovers of freedom. While still in my 20s, I wrote books about the westward expansion, the Naval War of 1812, and American heroes, including biographies of Thomas Hart Benton and Gouverneur Morris. I wrote 35 books in all, always celebrating the joy of life and the duty of life. I worked hard. Before I was 30, I headed west to Dakota Territory and the Little Missouri River, the Badlands, where the crack of a whip and a steady gait of a horse's hooves were constant sounds in a place lonely and forbidden. My life was the cattle business, wrestling steers, taming ponies, branding calves, and riding, roping, and hunting with the strongest and most experienced of men. I hunted and rode, delighting in the hardy life of the open. My life was always an adventure. I was a hunter. I was a father of 6 children. I played with the children almost every night. Alice, Ted, Kermit, Ethel, Anchie, Quentin. The life at the Roosevelt house was lively, jumbly, and wrestling, running, shouting, and song. I was always in the thick of all the children's mischief. Later, when I ascended to the nation's highest office, a friend humorously remarked, "The president is about 6." I was a soldier. When the Spanish-American War came, I was ready. My charge up San Juan Hill into the flash of fury of screeching shells and screaming combat brought me fame and the nation's highest award for bravery, combat, the Congressional Medal of Honor. Those events led me to become President of the United States at 42, the youngest man ever to hold that office. Great success came from great effort and big dreams. My life as a father and as a president taught me to face every challenge with energy and integrity. I was a builder. I built my life. I also built a family and a better country. It was always better to be original than to be an imitation. I constantly strove to be an original. I followed my heart wherever it led me. It was a worthy course to be a better person and to make a better land. That was the life I lived. The end. Read by Katie Corbett. Starring Theodore Roosevelt. Filmed on location. Katie's room.